I feel awkward talking to a cat. I can't even speak. Yeah. I don't know. So hi and welcome to my video. Well, to my channel. This is my first video. I'm really nervous about this, so I hope you enjoy it. That's about it. So what I'm doing today, I'm saying a lot of so. Let me shut up. Okay, let's start over. Just had a nervous poo. Yeah. Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Raquel. Thank you for being here, and this is my first video. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm quite nervous. Yeah, I feel really awkward about doing this, but I want to try something new, and it's something I'm passionate about, so here we go. So I'm going to upcycle and thrift flip for you. So yes, in honor of Black Lives Matter, I am going to, so firstly I was going to dye this, I don't know if you can see it properly, but it is a bomber jacket. I was going to dye black and then paint on it or put badges on it, but I actually really like the colour, and I like the colour on me. I don't know if you can see, but I feel like khaki doesn't look too bad on me. So what I'm going to do is in fact just put badges on, and I have some really cool ideas. So yes, so that's what I'm going to do today. So that's my first thing. So I got this for free, right? Now how cool is that? So I was working in a bar, and what usually happens is there is a lost and found, and that would usually go to the charity shop. So technically it is thrift flipping. Now before it went to the thrift store or the charity store, they asked who would like to look through the bags. So I did, and I got this for free. You don't do that like within a week of finding it. It's months and months of holding onto stuff, and nobody comes to claim it, and then eventually after months and months and months and months, they then give it to a charity store. So I took this one before it went to the charity store. I feel so bad, but at the same time, it's, you know, I've spent loads at the charity store as well so far. But that's not the point. So yes, so firstly I'm doing this one. It's quite a big fit, so I kind of like that. It's going to be baggy. That's my first project. So I'm doing a whole outfit here. Secondly, what I'm going to do, it's just a really long ball gown. I'm not sure if you can see all of it. I'm just oh shit. But yes, so it sits like that. It's high slitted as well, and it's beautiful. And I've worn it once, so but it's just it's a cheap dress because unfortunately I bought it. You know, I'm not going to go into the story, but yes. So I've got this one, or I've got this one, which is the same sort of dress. It just so happened, and I've not even taken the tag off. It cost me, what, £5, £10 or something like that. It's the same style completely. There's nothing different. The only thing is that the straps get tied on at the back, so you could either tie them like that. So yeah, but anyways, same long style. Oh, hit myself in the eye. So it's just depending on which one looks better with the bomber jacket. I want to make a dress, and I want to make a slip dress. I mean, I know they're both kind of slippy dresses anyways, but they're not short enough. So I'm just trying to figure out which one looks nicer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this relatively straight and across, and then, but I'm planning on making it almost like a cowl neck. I don't know how you say it. I'm thinking cowley neck. So kind of like where it dips like that. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. So I'm cutting it. I'm going to be making a slip dress with this darker sort of pink material, and put badges on the bomber jacket. Yes, so that's the outfit that I'm planning for today. So we shall see how this goes. If I had a printer, I wouldn't be using the laptop to trace with, but I need paper, styling knife, and a pencil to be able to do that. If you have a printer, just use your printer and scale the image to your desired size. My images were all previously researched, so that's why they're here on my laptop, but don't be afraid to use Google, guys. It's there to help you, and that's where all my images are from. Now, I would have loved to have gone for the zebra, but unfortunately it would have taken way too long with each individual little strip bit. So what I have gone for is the peace sign, because it's all love, man, and the equality sign. I'm ignoring the heart and just going for the tattered equal sign, just to remind us all that we are all equal. As I'm from South Africa, I would like to use the hand Africa motif that is being used in support with the Black Lives Matter movement. Instead of using the traditional colours, I'm planning on using a patterned design. So for the image that's going to go on the back of the bomber jacket, I'm going to use the girl that is on the left, as her hair is open and not in the traditional bun, but also because I want to explore using different fabrics for the tutu. Okay, so pencil and paper ready, you can start tracing the designs. Now, if you do have a printer, just print it out, print to scale, and cut that out, and you don't need to worry about tracing. So for everybody else that doesn't have a printer, just be very gentle on your laptop screen and just trace around very gently. With some of the images, you will require adjusting the color. So for darker images, so I've had to do that with the ballerina and with the Africa outline. So yes, so just adjust the color and that should be fine. Don't these just look great? Now, I thought I'd forgotten how to actually trace properly, but it's actually not that hard. So it was pretty easy, and I had them done within maybe half an hour, maybe less. But the ballerina was relatively big, so I had to do the fist on a different piece of paper. Using a marker, outline the drawing, and this is just to help when you're cutting it, to give it an extra thick edge so that you're not losing too much of the image, because you don't want to cut right on top of the pencil marking. So this especially helped when doing the map, for example, because I was going to actually cut out the individual sections, but this is really not as tedious as it seems, because as you can see, I'm doing my happy concentration dance. Don't be like me and waste your time using the marker to stencil the inside of what's going to be a silhouette. So don't do that. So now the stencils are ready for the fabric, so go ahead and look for your fabric. I really do apologize, excuse the mess. So either you'd use leather as the base of your badge. What I'm going to use is this dress, because it's so almost stiffy and thick. So yeah, I'm going to use this. Now, before you cut into your fabric, I would highly suggest you take the paper stencil and check the placement to see that it's firstly the correct size, and also it looks great on the jacket. Now, with this ballerina, unfortunately it is so slim and there's so much space either side that I've had to take some time out, possibly an hour, where I was sat staring into space trying to figure out how to fix this situation. You know, sometimes genius just hits me in really weird ways. Tape is so underrated, so I have taped the paper down onto the fabric and cut around it, trying to keep the fabric as straight as possible. But don't be afraid to what is with me today? Don't be afraid to bend and fold the fabric in any way to cut into those corners and those awkward sort of spaces, because it is only fabric, it bends. So for the equality symbol, I decided to use this soft beigey cotton material, and I was going to double layer it, but instead I realized I could just use the seams, which is pretty perfect actually. The fabric glue that I use is Trim It fabric glue, and it is the first fabric glue that I've used, so I actually do not know how it quite works until I put everything in the wash, so I still don't know. I absolutely love this top, and I think it is perfect for Africa. It's got the gold, it's got the patterns, I just think it's amazing. And now I'm going to do the ballerina. I had to get a cushion for my butt and for my back because I'm in pain. It's been agony sat here on the floor. I need a workstation, basically, is what I've discovered. I do apologise for the whinge fest, but unfortunately I'm still sat here on the floor recording this at the moment, so I'm still in pain. But moving on to the actual ballerina badge, what I decided to do, due to the fact that there was so much space either side of the ballerina and it was such a slim image, I decided to actually frame it and put it as a picture. So I found this old t-shirt, cut it up with the sunset, and decided to have the black outline. So to give it the vintage look, all I did was use the scissors to direct the tear and ripped with my hands for the rest of it. For the ballerina badge itself, I used an old pair of leggings which no longer fit because of my fat ass. Now I did mess around with quite a few materials just to decide what I wanted the tutu to be, and I decided on this sparkly one just because it looks more like the tutu sort of material, and I found it from an old hairband that I used to have. That this was actually the bunny ears. I know that sounds weird, but that is exactly what it was. I never wore it, but still. So I glued down the sunset scene first, waited for that to dry, and now I can glue on the ballerina. It's a bit hard to explain how I've glued on the tutu because I'm not particularly great at explaining things, but there are 3 layers of netting sort of material, and the top layer, so what's going to be set on top, I folded and glued that underneath and put the 2 on top and then folded it over, almost like a tuna wrap or some sort of wrap that you would do where you would kind of tuck it under, if that makes sense. Now, how awesome does this look? I love this ballerina. I put a ribbon as the belt of the tutu, and I did try to put ribbon as the shoes, but unfortunately when you cut up ribbon that small it just frays everywhere, so I decided to forget that. And now time to cut the patches. I'm nearly finished. I just need to put them on the jacket, which I will do now, and I'm going to do the dress today as well. I'm literally not going to bed until this is all done, but I'm really pleased with how they came out. Look at my equal sign. Equality, man. I really like it. I'm going to stick it on the arm like patches. It is patches. But anyways, that's my peace sign. I like it. I actually like it with the hard bits. I think it looks good. I like it like that. I really like this yellow on the black as well. It's going to look really cool on that khaki green. And my personal favourite, but obviously because I'm from South Africa, is the actual, I don't know if I'm holding it up properly enough for you to see. I don't know if it's blurry. I'm trying to have a look. But yes, I'm going to get started with the dress. The dress shouldn't take me long. One can hope, but I'm going to actually try it all on tomorrow. I would suggest waiting until the next day to try on anything that has been made with glue, just because of gravity, but I'm using tape here to put it into place and then try the jacket on, just to ensure everything's in the right place. I think I would just, this needs to be changed slightly, but I definitely love the back. I think the back is so cool. I've moved the badges around slightly because I felt the ballerina was too low down and I would like it further up the back, so I've put it closer to the shoulders. And with the peace sign, just because it was directly opposite the Africa map, I would prefer it further down, or just kind of breaking the symmetry. I felt it was too organized, so yes, I kind of disorganized it a bit. How awesome does that look? I love this jacket and I love what I've done. You know, for my first project, I'm kind of proud of myself. So I have just finished the jacket. I put it on and I am so happy with how it turned out. It looks beautiful. It's the next day. I wanted to do everything in the one day, which I could have done if I didn't stare into space for hours, and also got distracted by various other patterns and colours and stuff like that, and if I maybe planned a bit better, but that's fine. So I didn't do the dress last night, but the main thing that happened, and the reason why I didn't do the dress, is because my camera stopped working and it just refused to record. I just kept pressing the button and I tried various things. I looked it up, nothing was working. So I decided to actually wash my hair, wash the honey out, and eat, which was at about 11, and then finally go to bed because I was just so worn out. I think I need an actual workspace, because as much as sitting on the floor is okay, there's plenty of space on the floor-ish because I've got all my crap everywhere. it's actually quite hard in the back, so I think I actually need like a table and a chair to sit on, so I'm maybe going to work something out there. But besides the point, I've eventually fixed the camera, which thanks to a YouTuber called Fro Knows Photos. So cool. Okay, so it's day 3. I'm sorry. The thing is that yesterday I worked like a moron and I completely fucked up. I'm gonna roll the clip now. So first thing down, 20 to go. This is so awesome. This won't take me long at all, I don't think. But yeah, basically that's what it looks like. It looks like, you know what it looks like. It looks as if there's gum on this dress and backstitch this bitch. After basically forcing Frodo to console me, I decided to try again with the other dusty pink ball dress, and for measurements I used an old dress and a tape measure just to ensure the width. Learning from the old cum-stained looking dress, I decided to tape down and backstitch the top hem, ensuring that it's as straight as possible. As this is a dress, you will need 2 equal pieces, so just do what you did for the first one on the second one and lay it on top of each other to ensure that they are exactly the same. But look how good that stitching is. I'm going to cut off all the excess when I've finished. I have stitched really well. I'm actually really amazed at it. Look at that. That is so neat and so straight. I like it. I think it was done well. Tap on the back. Sorry. This is a Pretty Little Thing dress that I bought years ago when I went to a ball, so a Christmas ball. So I've just cut this up and I'm going to make it into that little slip dress that I want to have. I'm trying to look into what I purchase or what I buy from, because I don't mind if it's a name brand, if it's not name brand. I'm not particularly bothered about what it is, but I do want to make sure that it's ethically made and that at least people are getting the correct payment for their work, and also it's fair. At first I did say I wasn't one for sustainable fashion because really I didn't know what that meant. I just assumed it meant I don't know, that it's sustainably sourced. And I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna link the articles, everything down below that I have found out, and then that is what I'm going to do. But for now I'm going to continue with the dressmaking, and hopefully it looks decent in the end and covers my ass unlike the last one. So sometimes I'm just the weirdest person, but regardless, with the dress you want to make the pieces slightly bigger, and what I've done is I folded the ends in and then put them together, so kind of like you're putting jam on 2 pieces of bread and then closing it together, and that's the seam. I hope that was explained well. So with the dress, you want to make sure that the two seam pieces are actually directly on top of each other and that they match up. I did use books just to press it down further and to keep it in place in case the breeze came along and moved the pieces around. Now the glue does take about an hour to dry, so take a load off. I'm doing yoga here, which I don't look very graceful doing, but hey, I'm going to eat and have a shower, which is why you're probably seeing me here with a different t-shirt again. I don't know how many that is. I think that's about 5 t-shirt changes. Now that I'm all clean, I'm taking the incomplete dress and wrapping it around myself using safety pins to secure and tailor it to my exact body type. And yes, I'm using sellotape again to hold up the dress while I make my modifications. It's just such an underrated item. You can use it for anything. Now this might take a few tries to get it perfectly exactly how you would like it, but I wanted mine to fit a little bit looser, so it definitely works a lot better the second time. The original dress definitely scarred me, so I made sure that I had so much extra fabric to work with, and once I measured and had the safety pins in place, I cut off the extra fabric and then proceeded to make sure that it looked decent before I started gluing it together. With the glue, I did it the same as the other side, so I literally just did it as 2 sandwich pieces of bread with my jam and stuck those 2 pieces together. So it's the outside of the dress that you're flipping inwards and then gluing those 2 pieces together for the seam. I really don't know the terminology. The last dress I made was over 19 years ago for my doll, and that's only because I was scared that she was going to kill me in the middle of the night. I started to get really confident with my dressmaking skills. I mean, bear in mind, I'm still using fabric glue, but I decided to put a slit in the dress. So I just took the pieces of fabric and folded them inwards and started backstitching them in. So Book's back on the dress while the glue dries because I'm still scared of that runaway breeze, and I decided to watch Moana because it just makes me feel so happy inside. Once the glue dried, I decided to try the dress on just to see how it slipped on, and then I proceeded to mark off where I wanted the straps to be with nail polish, so just a clear nail polish, and then started to sew the straps on. And then unfortunately I had a little mischievous monster come in and try to ruin my dress. This is Poppy, by the way. She always believes it's playtime with me. Okay, so the dress is finished. I just have to go outside and twirl it around for you. It's actually quite perfect outside right now because the sun's setting. But yes, what I was actually thinking before I did that was putting these flowers on the dress. I don't know why I'm giving myself extra work, and these shorts are kind of cute, so I basically went ahead and did it. I cut the white flowers off of these perfectly fine shorts and attached it onto the slip dress where the slits would have been, because unfortunately my stitching wasn't particularly great there. And that should be it. Hopefully you guys like it, or whoever's watching. I hope whoever is watching likes it, and thank you. I'm going to get myself all done up now, just a little bit, just so that you can enjoy me in my makeup mode, because I'm not going to say beauty mode because I feel like you don't need to have makeup to be beautiful. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of lipstick and do my hair because this is just not good enough, and then I'm going to twirl in the dress and the jacket, and then you get to see all of it in its full glory. I am so pleased with how my first project has gone. I can definitely tell where there's room to improve, including that I could have split this up into 2 different videos, but I am really happy and I really love how this looks. This is exactly how I would style the outfit, so with the ankle boots and the hat, or with the bomber jacket and combat boots. And yes, now I think I'm fly shit, but thank you for watching, and hopefully there'll be another video soon. Yes, that's about it. See you next time.